Hi, my name is Amy Weissfeld. I am a somatic sex educator and the founder of the Joyful Self-Love Institute. Thanks for joining me. We're going to talk about Prana Breath today. And Prana Breath is a combination of breathing and movement that is used to ramp up sexual energy. Breath can be used to both increase arousal, ramp up sexual energy, and it can also be used to decrease arousal and move into a more relaxed sort of savoring state. Today we're going to use it to ramp our sexual energy up. So we're going to start with the breathing portion and then add the movement. Prana is a word that you may already be familiar with. It means life force or energy or breath. It's a Sanskrit word. If you take yoga, you've probably heard it in yoga class. Another way of thinking about it is as chi, but it's basically the energy force in our body. And I'm going to back up a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of my whole body here. And the movement that we're going to start with, or the breath that we're going to start with, is simply a deeper sort of breath. A lot of times we breathe way up high here in our chest, which is a sort of stress, everyday kind of stressful breathing. I want you to breathe a little bit further down in your belly. Actually, when you breathe in, you should be able to feel your belly expand out into your hands. This is your diaphragm working. And then when you exhale, you'll feel your belly contract back towards your spine a little bit. I'm going to exhale with a sound. It's a ha or an ah on the exhale. And the reason to do that is to activate the vagus nerve, which is the primary transmitter of feel-good chemicals throughout your nervous system. So I'm going to inhale through the nose, exhale with a sound through the mouth. And you can inhale or exhale in any fashion you want, but the deeper breathing with a little bit of sound is certainly key. I'm also going to move my hands up and down my body, and I'm going to visualize myself breathing from the root, actually. This is my the bottom of my genitals, my vulva or your cock if you're a male. This is called our root, this bottom part of our body here where our legs meet the pelvis. And this is an important chakra or energy source. We're going to be drawing or visualizing what I call bottom breathing, but it's essentially visualizing the breath coming up from the root through the body to my heart and then back down. I'm going to move my hands up and down my body just to kind of help me remember the visualization. So it looks something like this. Now we're going to add the movement to this. And the movement, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. The movement here is actually a pelvic tilt towards the back of my room here, as if my tailbone was being pulled up and back. And then a tuck where my pelvis moves forward as if it's sort of being tucked underneath my body. So if you need a visualization for this, sort of thrusting movement, you can imagine a string as if I'm a marionette here being connected down to this tip of my tailbone right here, pulling my ass back and up, or my pelvis back and up. And then if you need a visualization for this sort of forward motion, I like to think of it as if I'm shooting a ping pong ball of sexual energy forward. So when I move or thrust forward or tuck the pelvis under, that's a visualization that may help for you. So when you bring the pelvis back, you're going to be breathing in. And when you tuck forward or thrust that energy forward, you're going to be breathing out. So again, I'm going to move my hands up and down. I'm going to visualize the energy not leaving my body, but traveling up and down my body as I move my pelvis backwards and forwards. So it looks something like this. When you do this for just a couple of minutes, you should notice that you're starting to feel a little warmer. You're starting to generate some heat, some sexual energy. You may feel rising I want it to come up from this section of my body, my genitals, up into my heart, and then back down. Now, we're going to do one more thing here, and that is we're going to add a PC muscle squeeze. Your PC muscle, PC stands for pubococcygeal, your pubococcygeal muscle. It's a hammock of muscles in the bottom of your body that are basically surrounding and holding your genitals in place in the pelvic bowl. And the PC muscle that I want you to squeeze is the one that you would squeeze as if you were trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. I want you to squeeze that muscle when you inhale and tilt the body back. And then I want you to release it when you exhale and tuck or shoot forward. So it looks something. I'm going to also, as another sort of body mechanical sort of device, I'm going to squeeze my hands at the top of the inhale, which just helps remind me to squeeze the PC muscle. When I come back down, I'm going to release my fists, which is the reminder to myself to also release the PC muscle. You want to make sure that you're not holding that clench. The point of this, of the PC muscle squeeze, is to get the blood flowing down there. And again, it helps with circulating and calling up this sexual energy into our bodies. So here we go. I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to tilt back, I'm going to squeeze, and then I'm going to exhale, release, tuck forward. So here we go. I'm going to do just a couple more times here so you can see. Now, I recommend doing this for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes for good health, not just great sex, but for general all-around sort of good health. And I would love to hear your comments. Let me know how this works for you. You can reach me at joyfulselflove.com, also on Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.